Yeah, hello and welcome to the match reaction show. After another win for Liverpool today, full time at the Vic, it finished Watford 0, Liverpool 3. The Reds undefeated in the Premier League after an incredible 13 matches. Jason McAteer and Phil Babb are my guests to dissect what we've seen in the Premier League today. Before we hear from the guys, let's run through what else has happened in England's top division this afternoon on a busy afternoon of Premier League action. OK, well, elsewhere today, Brighton 1, Leicester 1, Everton 1, Cardiff 0, Fulham 3-2 winners against Southampton in a cracking game down at Craven Cottage. Man United 0, Crystal Palace 0. Interesting result there. Man City 4-0 winners at West Ham, of course, our game. Liverpool 3-0 winners against Watford. The late game in the Premier League today is one of interest to ourselves. Spurs and Chelsea playing a little later on. What do those results mean for the Premier League table then? They mean this. The top two remain the same. We are still just behind Manchester City, who sadly show no sign of letting up their incredible start to the season. Yes, ourselves sitting just a couple of points behind. Ourselves, City and Chelsea all still to suffer defeat in the Premier League this season. OK, we'll speak more in detail about the results today and how the league table looks a little later in the programme. But in terms of what we saw today, Jason, what did you make of the Liverpool performance today? Ultimately, a very important result, but how we got to it.
Yeah, I mentioned before the game, and I thought it was a potential banana skin. You know, very good team at home, Watford, very attack-minded, and I felt they had the players that could cause us a few problems today. But I thought overall it was a good professional performance, good patient performance. And I mentioned in the build-up that when we got our opportunities, we were going to have to take them against this team. And I thought we did that. I thought there were three fantastic goals, all different. I thought the first one, the three boys linking up together, Firmino's pass for Mane was brilliant, and then Mane with the pull back and Salah clinical one-touch finish sort of got us in front and sort of settled the nerves slightly, although I did feel we needed that second. And then we got a free kick on the edge of the box. Firmino fouled, and then it was Salah or Trent, wasn't it? And we all thought Salah, like you said in commentary, might have pulled rank there, but we all know the quality that Trent has over the ball. He scored a couple of goals like that, and it was exquisite. His free kick was brilliantly taken, technique was brilliant. Give Foster no chance, who had a particularly good game today, and that just gives us that little cushion. I think the downside, the negative side of it, was obviously losing Jordan Henderson to 2 bookings. He now misses the Everton game, possibly will play midweek now because of that against Paris Saint-Germain, but then we got the third goal. But I felt it was over after the second. Liverpool were in command of performance. Good second half performance. First half, it was difficult, wasn't it?
But what you want from the boys, it was stale in the first half, and historically it always has been after international breaks, isn't it? You know, the lads come back a little bit rusty, some are suffering from fatigue, from long flights, etc, etc. And it did take time. Jason mentioned patience, and I thought that's what we were, very professional. We had a lot of possession, didn't really break through the lines, we just kept recycling it. But yeah, first half we got stronger towards half-time, and you thought, I didn't want it to stop. I thought we would probably have nicked a goal if we had another 10 minutes. Started the second half a little bit flat as well, but just grew into it. Just be patient. Manager would have said, just turn up the intensity a little bit and we'll break through. And they did, and it was a very good performance.
You know, you've got to give credit sometimes to the opposition. I've said it time and time again. People know about Liverpool. People know all about them, how good they are on the counter-attack, how quick they are, the little passages of play, the lads, although we're playing a different system now, you know, with the three and Salah playing more central and sort of a bit of a lone striker. But we know how dangerous we can be if we can get the ball into them areas, and teams are setting up now to stop that. They send us narrow, you know, they stay compact, they stay disciplined, and they basically ask Liverpool the questions, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. More or less it hasn't worked out this season for us. That's why we haven't hit them heights that we've noticed last season. But sometimes you have to give credit to the opposition.
I totally agree, and don't take anything away from Watford. They did frustrate us, and it took a little bit of quality, well, 2 bits, Trent's goal, but also the link-up play with the front three. Bobby dropping deep, getting on the ball, and then threading that ball through for Mane. I was saying time and time again, Mane was probably not as effective as he could have been. He could have gone one-on-one against that full-back and skinned him, but he didn't. One time he does go beyond him, we score a goal. So, fair play to the boys. They took the time, but what you couldn't have afforded to do today was fall behind Man City, and we haven't.
Do you get a sense, Phil, that we're getting better at being patient in those situations?
You have to be. More difficult at Anfield, of course. You know, I think the crowd, we've got an expectation of seeing this swashbuckling football and blowing teams apart. Doesn't happen. As Jason said, teams are trying to figure us out. You have to be patient and you have to win ugly. And if you win a Premier League title and the majority of your games are 1-0 victories, you've still won the title. And at the moment, we're unbeaten. We're still in the championship race against a very, very good Man City side. And that's all you can ask from the team and the squad at the moment.
The two things we've certainly improved on is defensively. The foundations, I think, to go forward are there. Them fundamentals are there. You know, Van Dijk, the Gomez, Lovren's come in today. 2 full-backs, fantastic. You've got Alisson now, another clean sheet. You know, fantastic foundation to go forward and attack. I think what we've got though, and like Phil said, you know, we've got the ability now to win ugly. We've got a resilience about us. You know, you don't feel there at 0-0 that Liverpool really were felt like, I never felt they were out of control of the game. They were ever going to get beat. You always felt Liverpool might nick it. I felt we might have drew the game at one point. I thought, wow, we're just not going to be able to break them down. The quality we've got, we're always going to create a chance, and if you're just that clinical at that moment, you end up winning the game, which is what we've done. But I always feel that we've got that ability now to win ugly, where I didn't feel we had that maybe last season. And sometimes that comes at a consequence or a price, and that is that swashbuckling football. Sometimes, you know, we've got that ex-player in midfield, you know, and sometimes that swashbuckling football, as Phil just spoke about, it just hasn't been there this season. But maybe we need to accept that the fact it's not. Maybe we need to accept the fact that, you know, we're not this team that goes and blows teams apart. We're that patient, compact team that will create 6 or 7 chances, but we'll score 2 and win ugly at times.
That's an interesting point. We'll maybe speak in more detail about that through the course of the programme. Are we no longer that swashbuckling side? Are we more resilient? Will that be the foundation for a title challenge this season? Now, we'll hear from Trent Alexander-Arnold's show, but first, let's head over to John, who'll tell you how you can get involved in this evening's programme. John.
Yes, thanks, Mark. What a super day for Liverpool. Best start to a Premier League season, fewest goals conceded, just looking really, really solid at the back and still deadly going forward. Worth remembering as well, Ben Foster made some really good saves throughout the course of that game, and Liverpool still won it 3-0, so you can't complain, can you, at all? What your thoughts on that? And of course, we look ahead to a big, big week with the Merseyside derby, and just before that, the small matter of Paris Saint-Germain away. Here's how you get in touch with us on the show today. You can send us a text to 60070, text LFC, followed by a message. Don't forget to put a name on it as well. We do like to give you the credit for what you've sent us, if you deserve it, that is. Send us a tweet at LFC or at LFC TV. And those of you that do still like to send us good old-fashioned emails, they are old-fashioned now emails as well, aren't they? LFCTV at liverpoolfc.com. Should we have a little look at the early reaction to what Liverpool have done down at Vicarage Road today? Watford, of course, had only beaten Liverpool twice before today. The first time, John Barnes scored. The second time was 3 years ago, and Adam Bogdan had a night to forget, didn't he, at Vicarage Road. Shane Gore, brilliant win. Have to keep getting the 3 points and keep up with City. Still unbeaten in the league going into December. Absolutely fantastic. Julian, 3 things in life are certain: death, taxes and a Salah goal. And Regan Stevenson, that's a great name, that. Absolutely fantastic today, Liverpool. And that free kick from Alexander-Arnold, just the icing on the cake. We have actually been talking about that Trent free kick, and we have seen it before somewhere, haven't we, guys?
Yes. Yeah, on the replay earlier.
Was it a foreign game? Champions League?
Hoffenheim,
wasn't his first one.
There you go.
Was it a foreign game?
Well, I meant,
honestly.
Well, I meant like not a domestic game, Mark. I meant like, was it on foreign shores? Was it? Or was it away?
It was away.
away,
It was,
There you go. So it was a foreign game.
From one right back of sorts to another right back, we can hear from Trent Alexander-Arnold now then. He's speaking with Peter McDowell.
Trent, a great win. It was one you had to dig deep for today.
Yeah, tough game. It's always tough when we come here, but we showed that in the first half we found it quite tough, and yeah, we kept the goals out, and I knew that if we kept going that we'd get a good chance at goal, and I think that came with the second half, and the later on we got the better it was for us to break them down.
What was the message at half time then when that goal doesn't come?
Be patient, because obviously we know we're a really good team, and make sure we don't slip up at the back and let them score goals that they want to score with the set pieces and the counter attacks. And I think it's a lot harder if you've got a lot of the ball and then you concede. It can really get you down. But we've shown this season that we're rarely conceding, and we're scoring quite a few goals. So yeah, hopefully it'll help us build momentum.
That seems to be a theme though this season, doesn't it? That you can stay patient with that knowledge that you will defend, and if the keeper needs to make a save, he will do that for you.
Yeah, that's just the confidence that we've got at the minute, is that we're not really going to concede many goals, and that the forwards can score the goals really, and as long as we keep that belief, then I'm sure that we'll keep getting these type of results.
6 goals now for Mo against Watford. He loves playing against them, doesn't he? Worked ever so hard to get his goal as well today.
Yeah, he's got to be patient, especially when he's playing as a number 9. It's a bit of a foreign position to him, but he's a world-class player, and he shows that week in, week out, and shown that he can adapt to a different role, and he's shown that with the goals that he scored so far this season, and it's not really fazed him. Talk us through the eyesight of your goal then. Was there a debate over who would take it, or did you know you were on it at that stage? Nah, like before the game, me, Hendo, Millie, everyone was joking about and saying who's going to take it, and I think Hendo wants one. So he stepped up with it and had the ball in his hand, and then he passed it on to me, because I think the gaffer said before the game that me and Shaq would be on them. So yeah, that's why if you look back, me and Hendo had little moments as we celebrated, and yeah, it was a bit of a joke. You seem to take that in for a long time, that celebration in front of the away fans, because it's been an unbelievable couple of weeks. First goal for England, then you do that today. Is it all kind of dawning in on you at that moment? No, it's like kind of the same celebration really. But yeah, it's always good to be able to score and contribute with a win, and yeah, we're happy to get the 3 points first and foremost. And just finally, I suppose your focus changes quickly now to recovering tomorrow. Then we're on a flight, aren't we? Paris, and then it's a Merseyside derby quick on the heels of that. Yeah, a very exciting week for the club, and I think a week that could potentially decide the season. Especially the Paris game will definitely decide what goes on. So we need to be really focused for that, and then after that we'll have another big game at the derby, and we'll be looking to get 2 wins out of 2 with the 2 games. Superb today, well done mate. Thank you. Cheers.
20 years of age, he's played 60 games for his boyhood team. He's played for them in a Champions League final. He's played at the World Cup for his country. He scored for his country.
Is this me? Oh, Trent, you mean?
20.
I thought, like, sorry, 20, yeah, I'd done that by I was serving pints in a pub when I was 20.
But just sum up the career he's having, the progress he is making in such a short space of time.
He's on his way down,
the composure he plays.
He's peaked, he's on his way down.
He's a phenomenal talent. I mean, I think his first game was against Tranmere couple of seasons ago, and I think he was playing as a right winger, and I saw him pick the ball up and he beat a couple of players. I think he set up a Danny Ings goal, and I went, wow, who's this kid? And then obviously charted his success and his trajectory since then. He's got the lot. He's a fantastic player. Had a couple of dodgy games, a few errors creeping into his game, but that's again a byproduct of his success, himself analysing his performance, see how good he can be, and that can add to a few mistakes into his performance, but he's only going to get better. We've got arguably the best right back in the country. We've got the best centre half in the country, if not world football at the moment. We've got a fantastic fullback in Andrew Robertson on the left side, and then Joey Gomez as well. Mention him, another youngster who's got a fantastic future ahead of him.
Keeper.
Having Trent. Yeah, keeper's not bad as well, yeah.
He does all right.
I mean, he just adds to... He's just quality. He is quality.
I think what we've got first got to say is he started as centre midfielder, Trent. He started as a kid, and you know, he's had to adapt. But that's similar to me as well, centre midfielder, and gone over onto the right.
The theme's developed.
No, he's a tremendous talent, and as you've just mentioned his roll call there. I mean, when you look at it, it's fantastic, but you know, you've got to be careful really. He's still 20, he's still learning, there's still things he's got to do better. You know, I mentioned it before in the build-up. You know, Pereira was a good test for him today, a player that likes to hug the touchline, come in off that touchline, link up with the front men and drift into that inside channel, which I think is one of his weaknesses, Trent. I think he struggles with players that come in off the line and run across him. I think he gets caught ball watching now and again. But he's that kind of player that listens, he wants to learn, like Phil mentioned Joe Gomez as well. He's another one. I think having Van Dijk alongside him as well, I think that's a tremendous help for them, being around them kind of players in training. You're learning, you're talking, you're growing in confidence. and the future's bright for him. It's only going to get better. But I will say, he was slightly fortunate when he got into the team because of Klein's injury. But sometimes you need that in football. You need them little breaks in football. You know, it's not nice that Klein's out the team, and I'm a big fan of Klein. But Trent's come in and done an absolutely fantastic job and really made the position his own, hasn't he?
Yeah, you see the joy on his face when he scores that goal today and celebrates. You see the way he deals with situations. It just seems so impressive for a lad that young to deal with every challenge so well. You know, something gets put in front of him, he rises to the challenge. Remember that game he got thrown against at Old Trafford, and in the same game he played against 3 guys whose combined value was about £120 million, and he got through it. That seems to be inbuilt in him.
I think the beauty of youth is the innocence of youth.
Yeah.
He's playing without fear.
Oh, very profound.
That was nice, that,
It
wasn't
is,
it?
Nice, that is very
It
nice.
is,
That was like
yeah,
poetic.
yeah. I'll write that one down. It is, and you play without fear, and we've done that. You go in and you're not fazed by massive stadiums or superstars that you're up against. You know, he's playing his own game, and he's having the time of his life. He's in, you know, it's a fairy tale come true for him. And this is what I say, when you start analysing it, as you get older and a little bit more cantankerous as a player, and you... Do you know what that means?
No.
And that's exactly you summed up.
Okay.
You start analysing your game a little bit more, and then you can be a little bit edgy and nervy. And again, that's what I'm saying. As he's getting better, he's making a few more mistakes because he wants to perfect game on game. But yeah, top player.
It couldn't have summed that up better there, actually, what you've just said. I thought it was really good the way you analysed that, because
So I get the big bucks.
it's so true. As you get older, you start analysing, which sometimes is a downfall. You know, like you just said there, I remember going into the World Cup, yourself, 94, we were both throwing in centre-half, playing against Italy. You know, I ended up coming on and then playing a big part in the World Cup later on. He played all the games and stuff. And you literally, it's like you're throwing in, but you love it. It's like you love that like arena and that where you are, and you just get on with it. You're not fazed by it. It's just like nothing is a problem to you. We didn't go away after the game and analyse anything. We didn't look at any reports. We didn't do anything. We just looked forward to the next game. We trained. We had a laugh, and it was brilliant. And we just got on with it. It's only later on in your career when all of a sudden, you know, you do start reading the reports, you do start analysing yourself and questioning yourself, and then, am I doing this right, am I doing that right? And that's when it can be a problem. But he's at that stage at the minute, and you can see in his game the way he plays with no fear, he enjoys himself, he's happy, his body language is great, the goal he scores, he's a fan at the end of the day, he plays like a fan. But what's brilliant about him is he can handle it, because you still have to handle it, you still have to be thrown at the deep end and not freeze, you know, and that's the part of the learning curve. You still have to, you know, all of a sudden think to yourself that there's 100,000 people watching in this game here, or with him it's 60, 70 every week, isn't it? You've still got to be able to handle that, and he does it so well at such a tender age. He's
Class.
Yeah, he's class. He's class. He's a class act.
Fascinating stuff, guys. That was really interesting. I enjoyed that.
Thanks.
In the break, I'm going to ask Phil which Italian forward he was up against in the World Cup.
I'm going to ask him what's in
OK, time for a short break. And more to come from the boys in the studio, you'll be glad to hear. And we'll get the thoughts of Jurgen Klopp when we return. We're back soon.